Assalamu alaikum guys. Today we will learn together a complete plot and dramatic summary of Henry V. Henry V is the final play in the Shakespeare tetralogy four-play series dealing with the rise of the House of Lancaster, focuses on the young King Henry V as he leaves his rebellious youth behind to become an inspiring, ruthless and highly successful military leader. So here we have the key characters, the major character of the play that is very important to know in order to understand the story. King Henry V, a newly mature, charismatic, intensely focused ruler, Thomas, the Duke of Clarence, John, the Duke of Bedford, and Humphrey, the Duke of Gloucester. These three are the brother of King Henry V. The chorus, a standalone narrator who speaks directly to the audience. The King of the France, the Dauphin, he is the heir of the French throne and the son of the King of France. Then we have Catherine, she is the Princess of France and the daughter of the King of France. Pistol, Nymph, and Bardolph, they are the former companions and the old friends of King Henry V who later joined the army. Then the major captains of English army named as Fluellen, Gower, Macmorris and Jemmy. Then we have Duke of York, Earl of Westmoreland and the Earl of Cambridge. They are the cousins of Henry V. So let's start the act-wise summary of Henry V. Act 1 is all about the claim of the French throne. As the play opens with a chorus urging the audience to use their imagination to picture a massive battlefield on a small theatre stage, the play opens when the Archbishop of Canterbury and the Bishop of Ely want to divert a mind of King Henry V. They encourage him to claim the French throne using a complex legal argument of the Salic law. Salic law is basically a law which says that no woman have a right to inherit a Salic land. As we can see that the Henry V claimed the French throne through his grandmother Isabella, who is the mother of Edward III. So France used Salic law to tell Henry that you do not have any right on the Salic land. So Henry resolves to invade France after the French Dauphin, the Prince of the France, sent him an insulting gift of the tennis ball instead of a crown, saying, "Go play, you are just a boy." So because of the insulting gift by the Dauphin, Henry gets angry and he declares the war. Act 2 is about a treason. Treason means Ghaddari. As the English fleet prepare to sail from the Southampton, Henry discovers a plot against his life by the three trusted noblemen, Cambridge, Scrope, and Grey. So, in the display of the cold, unyielding justice, Henry tricks them into showing no mercy to a minor offender. Then he uses their own logic to condemn them to death for a high treason. Here we can see that the word no mercy shows that Henry V is no more a party boy, he becomes an strict king now. Meanwhile, in London, we can see that Henry's old friend Bardolph, Pistol, and Nymph they mourn on the death of the Sir John Falstaff, who reportedly died of a broken heart after the Henry rejected him upon becoming king. And at the same time, we can see that in France, the King of France and the Dauphin underestimate Henry. 3 is all about the siege of the Harfleur. As the English army invades France, they lay their siege on the town of the Harfleur. Henry delivers his famous speech to encourage his exhausting and tiring troops by saying that once more unto the breach, dear friends, once more. Harfleur surrender after the Henry threatens the city with the utter destruction and the brutal violence. However, the English army is depicted as sick and forced to march toward Calais through the harsh weather. Meanwhile, we can see that the Prince Catherine of France, she gets an English lessons. She come to know that in future she have to marry the Henry V, so that's why she learned the English vocabulary. It is the comic relief in the play, and meanwhile, we can see that Henry refuses ransom and prepare for the big battle. Act 4 is about the Battle of the Agincourt. The climax takes place at the Battle of the Agincourt, where we can see that English are outnumbered 5 to 1 by the wealthy, overconfident French. So, a night before the Battle of the Agincourt, we can see that Henry disguises himself in a commoner to walk along his soldiers, listening to their true thoughts about the war, leadership, and the king's moral responsibility. Then the St. Crispin's Day came, when on the morning of the battle, Henry delivers one of the Shakespeare's most famous monologue, telling his men that the fewer they are, the greater their share of honor, and calling them a band of brothers. By saying, "We few, we happy few, we are the band of the brothers." So in end, we can see that against all the mathematical odds, the English win a stunning victory due to the strategic position and the devastating power of Englishmen. But Henry, he is very angry that French prisoners killed the English baggage boy, orders all the prisoners killed, So it is a dark and brutal moment in the play. Act 5 is about peace and marriage. The war concludes with the Treaty of Troyes. Henry woos the French princess Catherine in a famous light-hearted scene where he speaks the broken French and she speaks the broken English. The marriage seals an alliance, making Henry the heir to the French throne. The chorus closes the play on a bittersweet note, reminding the audience that Henry died young, leaving his infant son Henry VI to lose France and plunge England into the War of Roses. Thank you. If you have any questions, ask in a comment below.